Hello. Hello, everybody. Hello. I have been looking forward to playing this game for a bit. I played the original Phoenix Wright trilogy game here before, yes. I played them all, but it's been like over a decade. So I'm looking forward to all these great cases we're gonna do today. Yes. Let's get right into it. I was looking at the options actually. I really hate this. I really hate these options. The PC port is not very good when it comes to sound options. Like, look at this. Look at that. It's not very subtle. You can't really change it down to a good. You have to like, I had to go into my actual PC settings. But other than that, you know, we got text box. I don't know what this is. I put it on low. There's only like 7 languages or something. 2 Chinese languages, interesting. But there's only like, what, 36 languages, huh? I guess if you aren't a part of these languages, you're just heckin' out of luck. And oh my god, look at these keybinds. They're so whack. They're whack as heck. I don't even like yeah. What is this? Move cursors? Why would I move? Why would I move cursor with that? Rotate evidence? Ugh. 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 So bad. Alright, let's just hop into it. Hopefully it just lets me use my mouse for everything. Alright, so there's Ace Attorney, good old, there's Justice for All, and there's Trials and Tribulations. I wonder how far we can get in a single stream. The First Turnabout, episode 1. Man, I remember this guy. I remember this case specifically because it's like the first one. Oh my god, my voice is already going. Gasp. I just realized my window is like a little too small. That's interesting. It's not like annoying. It's not like bad or anything, but it's like slightly too small. Because I'm playing in windowed mode instead of full screen mode. Oh wow, that just, when I clicked that, it got rid of my OBS on my other screen. That's great. We're still fine, okay. Someone like him. I'll make it look like he did it. Thank you. Thank you, guy. Freaking weirdo. Isn't that guy like a newspaper salesman or something? I still don't know why he murdered somebody. August 3rd, 9:47 a.m. Why is there no date? Huh? Why is there no date, huh, game? What year is it? What year is it? I need to know. District Court Defendant Lobby and number 2. We don't even get the number 1. Wow. Can you believe? Boy, am I nervous. Boy, howdy, am I nervous. Right. Wait, didn't you die? Oh, hiya, chief. Fancy seeing you around here, partner. Ooh, I'm glad I made it on time. It's a nice painting. Look at that. You know, sorry, move out of the way a little bit. Look at that nice painting back there. Hello. Hello? Look at that, look at that. Look at that. The way those steps curve, I mean, that is art right there. Well, I have to say, Phoenix, I'm impressed not everyone takes on a murder trial right off the bat like this. Are we not a murder? Are we not specifically a murder trial defendant guy? Like, what are we? We're just a random old dude who's like, nah, I'll take on this murder trial. Says a lot about you and your client as well. Thanks, partner. Actually, it's because I owe him a favor. A favor? You mean you knew the defendant before this case? Yeah, isn't that like, Aren't we like a public attorney? Is that legal? Is that actually legal in America? Because I know you can have like private attorneys, of course. Like, you'll know them beforehand, but we're We're a public attorney, right? Yeah, it probably doesn't matter. Actually, I kind of owe my current job to him. He's one of the reasons I became an attorney. Isn't my voice acting great, everybody? Don't you just absolutely love it? Well, that's news to me. I want to help him out any way I can. I just really want to help him. I owe him that much. It's over. My life, everything, it's all over. Wait, no, this is the idiot. Is that your client screaming over there? Yeah, that's him. Death, despair, oh. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna die. I'm gonna jump. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do a flip. Sounds like he wants to die. Yeah. Nick. Hey there, Larry. How you doing? How you doing, buddy? Dude, I'm so guilty. Tell them I'm guilty. Give me the death sentence. I ain't afraid to die. What? What's wrong, Larry? Oh, it's all over. I'm finished. Finished. I can't live in a world without her. I can't. Who took her away from me, Nick? Who did this? Oh, Nick, you gotta help me. You gotta tell me. Who took my baby away? The person responsible for your girlfriend's death? Oh, wow. Is this girlfriend? I actually don't remember that. The newspapers say it was you. And those dang rascals in the newspapers, they say it was you, partner. It was you. Yeah, there's gonna be so much reading in this. My name is Phoenix Wright, attorney at law. Here's the story. My first case is a fairly simple one. A dead woman. A young woman was killed in her apartment. The guy they arrested was the unlucky sap dating her. Larry Butts. What a name. Butts. My best friend since grade school. Our school had a saying. When something smells, it's usually the butts. Hi, Chambes. Hello. Half a year? Wow. Crazy. Crazy half a year. Wow. Man, time is an illusion. Man, don't let time get you down. It's nothing but a figment of your imagination. I wish Spacebar did something. In the 23 years I've known him, it's usually been true. He has a knack for getting himself into trouble. One thing I could say though, it's usually not his fault. He just has terrible luck. Oh, why is it so hot in my apartment right now? It's like winter. It's like midwinter. How hot is it? Man, it's like super late winter and it's 70 degrees. Why? I didn't read that one. Wait, how do you go back? Wait, how do you go back? Well, I guess we're just gonna leave. We're just gonna lose that. That's fine. That and I owe him one, which is why I took the case to clear his name. What a good thing to do, you know. You gotta clear your buddy's name. Why do I not have the VTuber tag? There we go. And that's just what I'm going to do, partner. I gotta say partner, or else you're not really Southern. You know what I'm saying? August 3rd, 10 a.m. District Court, courtroom number 2. Ah, look at these idiots. They think they know what they do in here. I know what I'm doing here. Damn, I wish I knew how to do voices. Court? No. Court is now in. It's literally nothing. I can't. How do people do voices? I don't get it, man. Voice actors are so talented. They just they could just do it. They just do it. Crazy. Crazy. Court is now in session for the trial of Mr. Larry Butts. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Ahem. Mr. Wright, this is your first trial, is it not? Yes, Your Honor. I'm, a little nervous. Your conduct during this trial will decide the fate of your client. Murder is a serious charge. For your client's sake, I hope you can control your nerves. Murder is a serious charge, everybody. So serious. Better not doing that murder. Thank you, Your Honor. Do not be doing that murder, everybody. Serious charge. ... Mr. Wright, given the circumstances, I think we should have a test to ascertain your readiness. Why they gotta use big words? You're just a judge. Don't use such big words. Jeez. Yes, Your Honor. Gulp. Gulp. And shaken. Mom spaghetti. Eyesight fading. The test will consist of a few simple questions. Answer them clearly and concisely. I don't remember the judge being like this. I remember the judge being goofy as hell. Please state the name of the defendant of this case. Larry Butts. The defendant? Well, that's Larry Butts, Your Honor. Correct. Yeah, thank you, Judge. Definitely didn't know that. What the hell? Just keep your wits about you and you'll do fine. Next question. This is a murder trial. Tell me, what's the victim's name? Oh, fuck, I don't know this one. Woo, I know this one. Glad I read the case report cover to cover so many times. Wait, uh-oh. No way, I forgot. I'm drawing a total blank here. Phoenix, are you absolutely sure you're up to this? I know. You don't even know the victim's name. Yeah, thanks. Oh, the victim. Oh, the victim, of course. Of course I know the victim's name. I just forgot. Temporarily. I think I feel a migraine coming on. Look, the victim's name is listed in the court record. Just press tab to check it at any time, okay? Remember to check it often. Do it for me, please. I'm begging you. Mr. Wright, who is the victim in this case? It is Cindy. Wait. Ah, there we go. Cindy Stone. What's her title? Cindy Stone, age 22. The victim in this case, a model. She lived in an apartment by herself. Cinder Stone, Cinder Block. The victim's name is Cindy Stone. Correct. Now, tell me, what was the cause of death? She died because she was, I actually just know this one. I was hit with a blunt object. She was struck once by a blunt object. Correct. You've answered all my questions. I see no reason why we shouldn't proceed. Thank you. I'm not high, Your Honor. You seem much more relaxed, Mr. Wright. Good for you. Thank you, Your Honor. Because I don't feel relaxed. That's for sure. Well then, first a question for the prosecution. Mr. Payne? Yes, Your Honor. As Mr. Wright just told us, the victim was struck with a blunt object. Would you explain to the court just what that that object was? The murder weapon was this statue of the Thinker. It was found lying on the floor next to the victim. I see. The court accepts it into evidence. I feel like it should have already accepted that into evidence, like super far in advance. Statue added to the court record. Statue in the shape of the Thinker. It feels rather heavy. Right. Be sure to pay attention to any evidence added during the trial. That evidence is the only ammunition you have in court. Why is that my only ammunition? What do you mean? Use tab to check the court record frequently. Yeah, shut up, Mia. I know what I'm doing. I don't need to hear that from a future dead woman. Mr. Payne, the prosecution may call its first witness. Man, I cannot talk today. The prosecution calls the defendant, Mr. Butts, to the stand. Chief, what do I do now? Pay attention. You don't want to miss any information that might help your client's case. You'll get your chance to respond to the prosecution later, so be ready. Let's just hope he doesn't say anything unfortunate. It's Mr. Butts. Of course he will. Uh-oh. Larry gets excited easily. This could be bad. This could be bad. Ahem. Mr. Butts, is it not true that the victim had recently dumped you? Hey, watch it, buddy. Hey, watch it, buddy, old pal, old friend of mine. We were great together. We were Romeo and Juliet, Cleopatra, and Mark Antony. Didn't they all die? Well, yeah, they're like super old, Phoenix. What the fuck do you mean? Of course they're dead. I wasn't dumped. She just wasn't taking my phone calls or seeing me, ever. What's it to you, anyway? Mr. Butts, what you described is generally what we mean by dumped. In fact, she had completely abandoned you and was seeing other men. She had just returned from overseas with one of them the day before the murder. What do you mean one of them? Lies, all of it lies. I don't believe a word of it. Your Honor, the victim's passport. According to this, she was in Paris until the day before she died. Passport added to the court record. Passport. The victim apparently arrived home from Paris on 7:30 the day before the murder. Indeed, she appears to have returned the day before the murder. Thank you, Judge. Dude, no way. The victim was a model, but did not have a large income. It appears that she had several sugar daddies. I don't know why that just got me. She had several sugar daddies. Thank you. Thank you, Payne. Oh my god. I bet this guy wears a toupee. Daddies? Sugar? Yes, older men who gave her money and gifts. She took their money and used it to support her lifestyle. Dude. My dude. We can clearly see what kind of woman this Miss Stone was. Tell me, Mr. Butts, what do you think of her now? Right. I don't think you want him to answer that question. Yeah, Larry has a way of running his mouth in all the wrong directions. Should I stop him from answering? My client has no idea my client had no idea the victim was seeing other men. That question is irrelevant to this case. Oof, wince. Dude, Nick, what do you mean irrelevant? That cheating she-dog. I'm gonna die. I'm just gonna drop dead. Yeah, and when I met her in the afterlife, I want to get to the bottom of this. Let's continue with the trial, shall we? I believe the accused's motive is clear to anyone. Yes, quite. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. This is not looking good. Next question. You went to the victim's apartment on the day of the murder, did you not? Gulp. Gulp. Well, did you or did you not? Eh? Well, maybe I did and maybe I didn't. Uh-oh. He went. What do I do? Nah, honestly, have him answer honestly. I know. I'll send him a signal. Tell the truth. Yeah, I was there. I went. Yeah, you can't just lie in a murder court. That's unethical. Order. Well, Mr. Butts. Dude, chill. She wasn't home, man, so like, I didn't see her. Objection! What was that voice? Your Honor, the defendant is lying. Lying? The prosecution would like to call a witness who can prove Mr. Butts is lying. Well, that simplifies matters. Who is your witness? The man who found the victim's body just before making the gruesome discovery. He saw the defendant fleeing the scene of the crime. Order in the court. Mr. Payne, the prosecution may call its witness. Yes, Your Honor. Yeah. This is bad. On the day of the murder, my witness was selling newspapers at the victim's building. Please bring Mr. Frank Sawit to the stand. Man, I do not know how to pronounce that name. Mr. You sell newspaper subscriptions, is this correct? Oh yes, newspapers, yes. Mr. Sawi, you may proceed with your testimony. Please tell the court what you saw on the day of the murder. Witness testimony. Here we go. This is the gameplay. It's just more reading. I was going door to door selling subscriptions when I saw a man fleeing from an apartment. I thought he must be in a hurry because he left the door half opened behind him. Thinking it was strange, I looked inside the apartment and I saw her lying there, a woman, not moving, dead. I quailed in fright and found myself unable to go inside. I thought to call the police immediately. However, the phone in her apartment wasn't working. I went to a nearby park and found a public phone. I remember the time exactly. It was 1 p.m. The man who ran was without a doubt the defendant, sitting right over there. This guy's a liar. He's a dirty liar. Dirty cheat. Dirty murder. Larry, why didn't you tell the truth? I can't defend you against a testimony like that. Incidentally, why wasn't the phone in the victim's apartment working? Your Honor, at the time of the murder, there was a blackout in the building. Aren't phones supposed to work during a blackout? Yes, Your Honor. However, some cordless phones do not function normally. The phone that Mr. Sahib used was one of those. Your Honor, I have a record of the blackout fader perusal. Electricity was out from noon to 6 p.m. on the day of the crime. Now, Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor. You may begin your cross-examination. Cross-examination, Your Honor. Alright, this is it. The real deal. What exactly am I supposed to do? Is this guy like did this guy never like watch? This guy like never even like watched a trial go on or anything. He just did nothing. He literally has no qualifications to be a lawyer. Yeah, what exactly am I supposed to do? Why, you exposed the lies in the testimony the witness just gave. Lies? What? He was lying? Fucking fiends. Your client is innocent, right? Then that witness must have lied in his testimony. Or is your client really guilty? How do I prove he's not? You hold the key. It's in the evidence. Compare the witness's testimony to the evidence at hand. There's bound to be a contradiction in there. First, find contradictions between the court record and the witness's testimony. Then, once you've found the contradicting evidence, present it and rub it in the witness's face. Okay. Open the court record with tab and then point out contradictions in the testimony. Thank you, Mia. Get out of here. I'm trying to play a game. I don't need all this talking. I was going door to door selling subscriptions when I saw the member. Shut up. What are you? Okay. What was the day of the crime? 7:31. 4 to 5 p.m. Sure. I don't even need to press it. Yeah, objection. You found the body at 1 p.m. You're sure? Yes, it was 1 p.m. for certain. I don't remember what its voice was. Frankly, I find that hard to believe. Your statement directly contradicts with the autopsy report. The autopsy report notes the time of death is at some time after 4 p.m. There was no body to find at 1 p.m. How do you explain this 3-hour gap? Oh, that, hello, Ed. I'm always streaming, you're going, just don't sleep. What do you mean? So easy, just don't sleep. Easy. Objection. This is trivial. The witness merely forgot the time. After his testimony, I find that hard to believe. Mr. Side, were you certain on the 1 p.m.? Golly gosh, dude, that's a really good question. Thanks for the wise words. Yeah, just don't sleep ever. Easy. Just never sleep. We get so much work done. Just never sleep. Great job, Wright. Way to put him on the spot. That's all you have to do. Point out contradictions. Wow, being a lawyer is so easy. Lies always beget more lies. See through one, and their whole story falls apart. Wait, I remember now. Would you care to give your testimony again? Yeah, look at this guy. He's already like lied. We should kick him out. His testimony is bubkus. The time of their discovery. You see, when I found the body, I heard the time. There was a voice saying the time. It was probably coming from the television. Oh, but it was 3 hours off, wasn't it? I guess the victim must have been watching a video or a taped pro. Yeah, you can't watch TV if the power's out, you fool! That's why they, yeah. Terribly sorry. No, you're a lying cheat. And not even moving his head, weird guy. Nah, he just moves his body. I see. You heard a voice saying the time on a taped program. Mr. Roy, you make crowd. Right. You know what to do. I've got this one. I've got this one in the bag. Yeah. Oh, you see, when there was a voice saying the time, it's probably coming from the television. Excuse. Objection. Hold it right there. The prosecution has said there was a blackout at the time of the discovery. And this record proves it. You couldn't have heard a television or a video. Gah. Well, Steve Urkel. The defense has a point. Do you have an explanation for this, Mr. Sweet? No, I find it quite puzzling myself. Quite indeed. Wait, I remember now. Mr. Sawit, the court would prefer to hear an accurate testimony from the very beginning. These constant corrections are harming your credibility. Yeah, and you seem rather distraught. This guy also has a toupee. My apologies, Your Honor. It must have been the shock of finding the body. Well, Mr. Sawit, let's hear your testimony once more, please. I don't remember anyone's voices. I'm not even like doing voices very well. I'm like barely doing anything. Actually, I didn't hear the time. I saw it. There was a table clock in the apartment, wasn't there? Yeah, the murder weapon. The killer used it to hit the victim. That must have been what I saw. It's a statue. You saw a clock? I guess that would explain it. It was just a statue. Very gladly. Here in the time. Actually, I didn't hear that. There was a table clock in the apartment. Yeah, the murder weapon. The victim used it to hit the weapon. This is the objection. Wait just a moment. The murder weapon wasn't a clock. It was this statue. Now, how was this supposed to be a clock? Wow, you with your objections and your evidence. You with your evidence. Just who do you think you are? Just answer the question, Mr. Sawit. Hey, I saw it there, okay? That's a clock. Your Honor, if I may. Yes, Mr. Payne. As the witness stated, this statue is indeed a clock. The neck is a switch. You just tilt it and it says the time out loud. What even is this so-called evidence? It's a thinker. It's the man with the thinker statue. As it doesn't look like a clock, I submit it as a statue. My apologies. I see. So the murder weapon was a table clock after all. Well, Mr. Wright, it appears the witness testimony was correct. This is a clock. Do you have any problems with this testimony? Yes. Your Honor, there is a gaping hole in the witness's testimony. The only way he could have known the weapon was a clock is... Oh, wait. It was just Phoenix's voice now. God damn it. Shouldn't have done this dumb southern accent. At least try to do one. It's not good. The only way he could have known the weapon was a clock is to hold it in his hand. Yet the witness testifies that he never entered the apartment. Clearly a contradiction. Indeed. The witness knew it was a clock because he went into the apartment. You're lying. You were inside the apartment on the day of the murder. Oh yeah? Prove it. Prove it I went in there. Prove it, huh? Oh, punk. I'll do better than that. I can prove you were the one who killed her. Now, Phoenix, that is a very big jump in logic. You struck her with the clock, and the shock of the blow triggered the clock's voice. That was the sound you heard. It's a very large leap in logic right there. Am I drunk? Yes. No, I'm not drunk. I'm drinking a little bit though. Intriguing. Please continue, Mr. Wright. Drunk on victory? Yeah. Yep. We are the victors. Yes, Your Honor. Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Sawwheat, the sound must have left quite an impression on you. Understandable, since the murder weapon spoke just as you hit the victim. That voice was burned into your mind. That's why you were so certain about the time. Objection. What's the meaning of this? This is all baseless conjecture. That is very true. Baseless. Just look at the witness's face. That's not good conjecture. Grah. Would the witness care to elaborate? Did you strike the victim with the clock? That day, I never. Look, the clock, I heard, no, I mean, I saw, I said, Gua. Shut up, I hate you. It was him, I tell you, I saw him. He killed her and should burn, give him death. Just throws his stupid toupee. Order in the court, I say. I should have given him the southern accent. Your Honor, a moment, please. There isn't a shred of evidence supporting the defense's claims. Mr. Wright, Your Honor. You claim the sound the witness heard came from the clock. Do you have any evidence? The whole case is right on this. I better think it through carefully. Your Honor. This sound Mr. Sawheat heard was definitely this clock. A fact which is clear if you simply try sounding the clock. That's the neighbors. Examine the clock's better. Let's sound the clock now. Here in this court. Your Honor, may I have the clock? May I have that clock, sir? I asked the court to listen very carefully. Beep. I think it's 8:25. That certainly is a strange way to announce the time. Oh, wait, fuck. Well, he is the thinker, after all. So, we've heard the clock. What are your conclusions, Mr. Wright? Mr. Payne. Mr. Payne, can you tell me what time it is right now? It's 11:25. Hack. Wasn't it 12 earlier? No, it was 10 earlier. As you can see, this clock is exactly 3 hours slow. I like getting worse and worse. I don't know how to do this dumb accent. Precisely the discrepancy between what Mr. Sawheat heard and the actual time of death. So, Mr. Sawheat, try to talk your way out of this one, partner. Ha! Ha 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 ha! You forgot the one thing. Uh-oh. What's he talking about now? While it may seem like the clock is running 3 hours slow, it proves nothing. How do you know it was running 3 hours slow on the day of the murder? You can't prove that. You don't have a case. That is wild. It's a wild thing to say. Farts? No farts here. No, thank you. He's right. How am I gonna prove that? No, Phoenix. Language. Do you see this right here? He's cursing. I cannot believe our Phoenix Wright would curse. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Mr. Phoenix Wright. Ugh. Not a respectable lawyer at all. Can you guys believe this? I cannot believe this. Gosh dang it. I was so close. Mr. Wright, it seems like the critical didn't. Shut up, Judge. Yes, Your Honor. This means I cannot let you indict the witness. Unfortunately, this ends the cross-examination of Mr. Frank Sawheat. I come all the way down here to testify, and look what happens. You treat me like a criminal. A criminal. You lawyers are all slime. Grr, I almost had him. Sorry, Larry. I failed you. There's nothing I can do about it now. Man, he just fucking gave up. He just straight up gave up. Not so fast, Mr. Sweet. I mean, Chief. Listen up, Wright. Don't throw this one away. Not like this. Think. Not like this. But Chief, it's over. I can't prove the clock was slow the day of the murder. Nobody can prove that. Well, yes. But that doesn't mean you can't still win. Try thinking outside the box. Don't waste time doubting the facts. Assume the clock was 3 hours slow and think through it. Ask yourself, why was the clock 3 hours slow? Figure out the reason and you'll have your proof. Right? Right? Shut up, Mia. Can you think of a reason as to why the clock would be 3 hours slow? Yeah, I mean, yeah, obviously. It's because the power went out, right? Wait, maybe I can prove it. You must have evidence somewhere that could prove it, right? Find it and let them have it. Well, Mr. Wright, you say the clock was already running slow on the day of the murder. Have you found evidence to support this claim? Of course. There's a piece of evidence in the court record that can prove my claim beyond a shadow of a doubt. Ah, tough words. Let's see if you can pull this one off. Right? Yeah, right? It's so bad. Let's see this evidence that proves why the clock was running slow. The passport. Because Paris is 3 hours slower. I don't know. I think it was the passport. If this went out at noon and she died at 4, it wouldn't be 3 hours slow from the time turning off. It would be it'd be 6 hours slow. Now. She was at Paris. Take that. The victim had just returned home from abroad the day of the murder. As we all know, the time differences between here and Paris is 9 hours. When it's 4 p.m. here, it's exactly 1 a.m. the other next day, negative there. The clock wasn't 3 hours slow. It was 9 hours fast. The victim didn't reset her clock since returning home. That's why the time you heard when you struck your head in her apartment was wrong. Proof enough for you, Mr. Saweed? Or should I say, Mr. DD? Mr. DD. Shut up, Phoenix. What are these puns? Oh my god. That was an interesting color for that. Order. Order, I say. I say order. Well, in this case, it certainly turned out differently than we all expected. Mr. Payne, your witness, he was arrested and was taken away, Your Honor. Very well. Mr. Wright? Yes, Your Honor. I have to say, I'm impressed. I don't think I've ever seen someone complete a defense so quickly. And find the true culprit at the same time. Thank you, Your Honor. It's an honor to work with you, Your Honor. At this point, this is only a formality, but this court finds the defendant, Mr. Larry Butts, not guilty. Heck yeah. Heck yeah. We did it, boys. First case, flawless. Absolutely flawless. With that, the court is adjourned. Ah, what it feels good, man. What it feels good. It turns out that Frank Saweet was a common burglar. He poses as a newspaper salesman to check to see when people were out of the house. It's not even the same accent. I don't know what I'm doing. Yeah, his name was Larry Butts. What an idiot. What an idiot, Larry Butts. Oh, that day. Oh, that darn day. That darn day. When Larry went to her apartment, the victim wasn't home. After he left, Mr. Saweet led himself to do his dirty work. What? The door is open, though, in this picture. Like, what do you mean he wasn't home? The door is open in this picture. That's crazy. While he was searching her place, the victim returned. Flustered, Mr. Saweet grabbed the nearest blunt object he could find. Look at that red blood right there. Right there. Look at that dang red blood. August 3rd, 2:32 p.m. District Court Defendant Lobby number 2. Ooh, I still can't believe we won. Right, good job in there. Congratulations. Thanks, Chief. I owe it all to you. Not at all, not at all. You fought your own battles in there. It's been a while since a trial ended on such a satisfying note. I never seen the Chief looking this happy. If she's this glad, imagine how Larry must feel. My life is over. Larry, you're supposed to be happy. What's wrong now? Oh, Nick. Don't worry about me. I'll be dead and gone soon. Good. Wait, no, I mean bad. Bad, bad, bad. Larry, you're innocent. The case is closed. But my Cindy Wendy's gone, man. Gone forever. Larry, she was, nah, never mind. Congratulations, Harry. Harry? Yes, you. I can practically see the headlines now. Harry Butts, innocent. I'm a child. Oh, Harry Butts. Thanks. I really owe you one. I won't forget this ever. Let's celebrate. Dinner, movie, my treat. Good night, Ed. Good night, good night, good night. Yes, I'll go catch them all. I'll catch all them dirty, rotten murderers out there and put them behind bars. But the Phoenix Wright does. Oh no, I couldn't. Hey, I was the one who got you off the hook. Oh, hey. Here, take this. It's a present. Did you just give me the murder weapon? A present? A present for me? Wait, wasn't this the evidence that... Actually, I made this clock for her. I made one for her and one for me. Really? You made this? Wait. Doesn't that mean our evidence is like so far off then? Well, thank you. I'll keep it as a memento. Yo, Nick. Can you believe it? I was so into that chick. And she was just playing me for a fool. Don't that make you just want to cry? Sob. Larry. Are you so sure? Excuse me? I think she thought quite a lot of you in her own way. Nah, you don't gotta sympathize with me. It's okay. Oh, I'm not just sympathizing, really. Isn't that right, right? Don't you have something to show to your friend? Something that proves how she felt about him? Huh? Oh, yeah, right. What the heck is she talking about? Take that. Check this out, Larry. Proof positive you weren't just some chimp to her. Huh? What about that clock? This is the clock you made for her, Larry. And she took it with her when she traveled. What? Whatever, she probably just needed a clock, that's all. You think so? It's a pretty heavy clock to take traveling. Well, make of it what you will. Hey, Nick. I'm glad I asked you to be my lawyer. Really, I am. Thanks. Hope that made him feel a little better. I don't know why you asked freaking Phoenix Wright. He had literally zero experience and he was an idiot at the start of that. Straight up a dum-dum. Right? I hope you see the importance of evidence now. Yeah, obviously. You'd have to be a blind man. I guess justice is blind. Also, hopefully you realize how things change depending on how you look at them. People, too. We never really know if our clients are guilty or innocent. All we can do is believe in them. And in order to you have to believe in yourself. Right, listen, learn, grow strong. Never let go of what you believe in. Never. Yeah, until you die. Well, I think our work here is done. Shall we be off? Yeah, I guess so. Say, how about dinner? On me. We'll drink a toast to the innocent butts. Yeah. Well, speaking of Harry, you were saying part of why you became a lawyer was because of him? Yeah. Part, at least. You'll have to tell me more about it sometime. Maybe over drinks? And then she fucking dies. And so, my first trial came to a close. Larry slapped me on the back and said, "Gee, Nick, it's a good to have friends." But I'm pretty sure he's not gonna pay us. Unless you count the clock he gave to Maya. He's just straight up not gonna pay you guys. Fucking idiots. I didn't know it then, but the clock was soon gonna be at the center of another incident. And my promise to tell the chief about me and Larry would be one promise that I wouldn't be able to keep. Freaking. He's not gonna pay them. Brand new episode. Turnabout a Sisters. It's them Sisters. I see we did it. First try easy. After all that fast, what are we ever gonna do? How are we ever gonna fail? So easy. Bring. It's the banana phone. Hello? Hello, this is Maya. Hey Maya, it's me. Mia, what's up? They have the same voice. You haven't called in a while. I don't have any other voices. Sorry, it's been so busy. How you been? Well, lonely, and it's all your fault. Nah, I'm just teasing. I've been great. I'm finally getting used to having my own place. That's good to hear. Actually, I'm calling because I have a favor to ask. I know. You want me to hold evidence for you? Sharp as always. There's a lot of buzz about the upcoming trial. I just don't feel safe keeping the evidence here. I gotcha. So what is it this time? It's a clock. A clock? Yeah, it's made to look like the statue, the thinker, and it tells you the time. I thought you might like it. You always like toys. Hey, I'm not a little girl anymore, sis. I ain't no little girl anymore, sis. Hey now, you know I'm only teasing. I should probably tell you, the clock isn't talking right now. Huh? It's not working? That's lame. I had to take the clockwork out. Sorry. I put in some papers inside it instead. Papers? Is that the evidence then? Well, there might possibly be that it might turn out that way, yes. Can you come by the office tonight, say 9, and to pick it up? I'll be in a pre-trial meeting until then. Okay, sis. But I expect dinner. Something good. Like burgers. I could really go for a good burger. I can go for a burger. I can go for a real good burger right now. Honestly, I'd eat so many burgers right now. It's not even, it's crazy. It's crazy the amount of burgers I'd eat. Okay. We'll hit the usual joint. Alright, it's a deal. Okay, sis. See you soon. Yep, I'll be waiting. That voice freaking hurts. Conversation recorded September 5th, 9:27 a.m. Man, that hurt my voice. I'm not doing that for the rest of this. September 5th, 8:57 p.m. Faye & Co. Law Offices. Now, Miss Faye, I'll take what's mine, the papers. I'm sorry, I can't give you what I don't have. Miss Faye, you are a poor liar. Why, I see it right over there. That must be the thinker that saw all those papers. How could you know? Oh ho, you're not cogniferous of my background. Gathering information is my business, you see. I should have been more careful. Oh ho, my dear Miss Faye, I'm so very sorry. But I'm afraid I must ask you one more thing. Your eternal silence, forever, Miss Faye. What is the voice of this guy? Who is this guy again? Oh, it's this guy. It's Mr. Pink. It's Mr. Pink suit guy. Red, white, blue. That's the American flag right there, buddy. That's Mr. America. That's America's ass. September 5th, 9:08 p.m. Faye & Co. Law Offices. Howdy, sis. Uh-oh, I'm late. I'm late. Oh, that's strange. Guess the chief left without me. She said her sister was coming over, so we should all go for dinner. What's that smell? Blood? Mia. Maybe she's in her office. Examine. Can I examine things? I smell blood, and that can't be good. I have to check and see if Mia, the chief's okay. I examine this. I smell blood. Shush. Okay, that's really annoying. Oh, fish. Oh, fish. That smell. Blood. Sob. Sis. Someone's there. She did it. She's the killer. I've seen it here. Chief. Sheesh. Who are you? What have you done to the chief? And she passes out. What a useless victim. No, what a useless killer. That strange girl dropped out cold. I left her lying on the office sofa. I went back to the chief where she lay under the window. This is like not even accent. I don't know what I'm doing with my voice. Man, I wish I was good at this. Her body was still warm. I could feel it when I held her shoulder. Then, all too quickly, it began to fade until she was finally cold. Chief. Examine. Okay. Thinker. Examine thinker. It's encrusted with dried blood. How ironic that this would become the murder weapon again. Okay. Shards of some glass are scattered on the floor. They seem to be the remains of a glass light stand. You know what? I should just not talk. What are you? No clues here? What are you? Okay, well, let's look at the body. Chief. It's hard to see her like this, but if there are any clues here, she was struck on the head with a blunt object. She probably died instantly. The thinker lying next to her must have been the murder weapon. The thinker added to the court record. There are some glass shards near the chief's body. Must be pieces of glass lying that glass bed. Nothing else that. No, what? Right there. There's it right there. A piece of paper. It must have fallen from Mia's hand. What could it be? Maya. A word written on blood on this there's scrap paper. Maya. Did Mia write this? This piece of paper is a receipt from a department store dated yesterday. I think that's enough snooping around for now. You should have called the freaking police before and find what that girl was doing here. Why do I do this to myself? How do I call the dang police? That girl just now. Where'd she go? I put her right here, right there on that dang sofa. Uh-oh. I hope she didn't run on me. Ah! Yapes. Dong, garnet. Dong, garnet. Don't scare me like that. Excuse me, but who are you? It's okay. I work here. Maya Faye. Maya Faye? Maya he. Maya ha. Maya ho. Maya ha ha. So Mia was writing this girl's name. Maybe I should show her the receipt. I never thought there'd be a use for evidence like this outside the courtroom. Present. I can't just click it. Hydrate? Thank you. I actually need to hydrate. It is hot in this room. Thank you, Tron Bass. Before Mia died, she wrote a message with her own blood. She wrote it on the back of this here receipt. That's my name. Why? Why would she write her? Why would she write my name? Please just calm down. Why would sis write my name? No. Uh-oh. Now I've done it. I better hurry up and call the police. The police. There's a way they say that. Hurry up and better call the police. I don't know. Let's talk a little bit. What happened? She seems to be in shock. I don't want to disturb her, but I have to know. Excuse me, miss. Can you tell me what happened here tonight? I came in. The room was dark, and sis. So she was already dead. So, you're the chief's sister. I'm her younger sister. And you were here visiting this late at night? Yes, she said she wanted me to keep some evidence for her. Evidence? Yes, it was that clock. It was the thinker. Okay. How do I... Where the heck is that there dang here phone? Where do I go for the phone? Do I just leave? Hey, goodbye. Ah. Examine this. Can I? The very cool, everything right in the best is small, but it makes a good amount of money. You can just like hover over it. That's nice. Surprisingly, the chief was never good with machines. I bet all she could use this PC for was email. She picked up this ancient model at some garage sale for practically nothing. All the chief's important documents are packed in here. This is where she filed her case records and recent rulings. Ooh, knockdown chair. The chief's chair. A simple, functional design. Feels pretty good to sit in too. Gotta thank you, Phoenix, for that. A perfectly normal office desk. The chief had a very particular policy about office decor. Spend big on stuff the client uses, but keep your own stuff simple. The good chief, because that means you don't have to pay a lot of money. Alright. Right, I better call the police. That's funny. A few of the screws on the receiver are missing. It looks like someone was halfway through taking it apart. Police, please come quickly. What was that? Someone screamed from outside the window? They couldn't see. Oh, snap. She's staring right at me. She's holding a phone in her hand. If I just call the police, though. But what if I just call the police, though? Wee woo, wee woo, wee woo, wee woo, wee woo, woo. The police, yeah. Sounds like they're coming this way. Freeze, police! You're under arrest! Put your hands up. Oh, it's Mr. Dunkin' Donut. No, Gumshoe. Alright, I'm Detective Dick Gumshoe, see? Gumshoe, what an odd name. We received a report from the building across the way, see? Got a person saying they saw a murder. It must have been that woman I saw. I knew women were no good. All they do is see things. Anyway, I don't want either of you moving 1 inch, Kay. Great, just great. Maya. Wait, she wouldn't have. Nah. Whoa. Excuse me. Eek. The word Maya here mean anything to you? That's my name. What? I love Gumshoe. The victor drew this here on note in her blood, see? With her dying breath, she wrote down the killer's name. Killer, I'm not. Case closed. You're coming down to the precinct, ma'am. What? Say what? Mia's younger sister, Mia's younger sister, Maya, was arrested on the spot. I was taken in for questioning, and it didn't get out until the next morning. My eyes were heavy, but I couldn't sleep. I sat around waiting for visiting hours to begin at the detention center. I had to talk to Maya as soon as possible. September 6th, 9:07 a.m. detention room, a visitor's room. Wow, they have poor Maya locked up like a criminal. Oh, it's you, the lawyer. Good morning. Good morning. She looks so tired. Are you gonna be my attorney? Well, that's what I wanted to talk to you about. Of course I will. First things first, I better get here cheered up. Yeah, of course I will. Cheer up. Your sister just died, but cheer up. Really? Whoa, did I say the wrong thing? She looks sadder now. What's wrong? You don't think I can do it? Do eat. No one could. Who would believe me? Even you, when you found me in the office, you looked at me like I had done it. Did I look at her like that? No, I never thought. I couldn't have. I can't think. It's okay. I understand. And I've also heard about you. Heard what about me? I was talking to my sister while on the phone the other day. Why am I doing these dumb voices? Today is my junior partner's first time in court. Wow, really? How'd that go? It was quite the scene. Honestly, I was on the edge the whole time. It's been a while. So he crashed and burned? He's a genius. One of those strike fear into the heart of evil types. The only thing he's lacking is experience. Sounds like it was fun. Well, I know you have trouble now. I just can't read, you know. Sometimes you just can't read. Perfectly normal, just don't read. I don't know, Maya. I think you may want to give him 3 more years. That is, unless you want to be found guilty. That's what she said. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to insult you. No, it's okay. It's okay. It's true, I guess. But at the same time, I just can't sit by and watch. When I think of the person who did this to me, well, I get so freaking heckin' steamed. I know. Stop. There's something I've been wanting to ask you. Yes? What's with that outfit? Oh, this is what all acolytes wear. It's my uniform, you could say. Acolytes? Like people in religious training? What is that? What is that you do? Oh, it's nothing strange, really. I'm a spirit medium in training. A spirit medium? I'm pretty sure that qualifies as strange. Could you tell me about the day of your murder? Yes, let's see. That morning, I got a call from my sister. She wanted me to hold on to a piece of evidence for an upcoming trial. Evidence? Yes, that clock shaped like the thinker. The one Lara made. How could that have been evidence in a case? Right, she said something about that. I remember. Do you want to hear it in her own voice? Her own voice? Yes, I'm pretty sure our conversation is on my cell phone. You recorded it? Yeah, I forgot how to delete those things. Same. So you say you have a conversation with your sister on your cell phone? Let's hear it. Right. Oh, I just remembered that detective took my cell phone. Sorry. Oh, right. Of course. Next time I see Detective Gumshoe, I'll have to ask him for it. I'll write you a note so don't forget, okay? Sure, thanks. A conversation with the Chester recorded on my cell phone. So you're an acolyte at medium in training. That's right. The Fae family, especially women, have always been very sensitive to the spirit world. Wait a second, you said the Fae family? So Mia was into this stuff too? Of course. She left the mountain to follow her career, she said. Her powers were first class too. I had no idea. Wait, what? Huh? What? So you're a real honest to goodness spirit medium with ESP and all that? Yes, in training. Oh, can't you contact Mia's spirit then? We can just ask her who killed her. I'm sorry. I'm still in training. I couldn't do something on that level. I thought that would be too easy. Something the matter. I was wondering, can I ask you for a favor? This is the address of a famous lawyer. My sister gave me this a long time ago. Wow, she doesn't want us to be a lawyer. Wow, she doesn't want us to be the lawyer. Wow, cannot believe. She said if I ever get in trouble, I should call him. And well, I'm in trouble. Do you think you could go to ask him to represent me? I refuse. I'll do it. Sure, why not? I'll go ask. Thank you so much. I have no one else to turn to. Say, what about your parents? I see. Don't worry. Leave it to me. Thank you. The trial's tomorrow at 10. Wow, that was fast. That was fast. And the cup is out of wine. So sad. What? Tomorrow. What if this guy refuses? They told me if I don't find one, the state will pick an attorney to defend me. When will that happen? They're giving me until 4 this afternoon. And visiting hours are almost up. I better hurry. Right, I'll be back. Could you tell me about the day of the murder? Sorry, I know this must be hard. No, it's okay. All I've been doing the last few hours is thinking or talking about it. I've kinda gotten used to it. Let's see, in the morning I got a call from my sister. She wanted me to hold on to a piece of evidence for an upcoming trial. That's the thinker clock that Lair made. It practically qualifies as a serial murderer by now. This is a bad joke. So then when did you arrive at the office? It was right around 9. The lights were off and I could smell blood. Then I found her, my sister. Thanks, Maya. That's all I need to hear for now. Yeah, give me the heck out of here. Girls, wow, look at this cowboy right here. This is like a real cowboy. According to the receptionist, the big boss is out. She couldn't say when he'd come back. It must be hard to keep track of everything when you're a famous lawyer. Not to mention running an office like this. I guess I'll just have to come back later. But what if I examine things? Expensive looking mahogany bookshelves filled with expensive looking books. What a book reading son of a gun. Funny. They don't look like they've ever been read. I take it back. This man is dumb as bricks. Solid mahogany desk. The wood's been polished to a deep luster. Yep. What are you? That painting has been bugging me ever since I stepped in here. That's not a real cowboy. I'm a real cowboy. The old paint is so thick it's practically giving me a stiff nose. I'm pretty sure that price is nothing to sneeze at either, for that matter. Plant. An expensive potted plant. No idea what kind of plant it is, but it's probably the most expensive one available. Where's that alcohol? Wait, let me look at that. A table for clients. And I look at the question every now and then a minute ago. And I could tell that someone there's got money to burn. Got nothing else here. Nothing else here. America. No. Sorry, Maya. Hey, what is it? Did you meet the lawyer? Sorry, I haven't seen him yet. I see. I better go see if I can find this elite lawyer she's talking about. Do I go back? Nope. So go the only other place I can go. Let me pour myself some more wine. I need alcohol to keep this fuel going. Now the alcohol is the fuel that's keeping me going. Need more bottles of wine. Got this much through it. Ugh. Ah, good old wine. The office is filled with police officers. They're all busily searching for clues. Hey, you there. This is the crime scene, pal. No trespassing. Sorry, don't I know you from somewhere? Wait, you're that Butts guy, aren't you? No, oh, no, I'm Phoenix Wright. How could anyone mistake me for Larry? That butt. I guess I got the wrong name, Mr. Wright. Sorry about that. That Butts guy, he was a killer, and you're no killer, right? He was proven innocent. Right. You were? Detective Gumshoe. Gumshoe, wasn't it? Dick Gumshoe. Right at your service. Hang on, that's Detective Gumshoe to you, pal. Anyway, get the name right. And don't go call me Dick. Hey, Dick, get over here. Yeah, yes, sir. Be right there. Aw, poor Dick. You're her lawyer, right, pal? If you got business here, you better do it quick. Well, he winks. He thinks I'm Maya's lawyer. Aha, talk. About Miss Fight, did you do an autopsy? What do you want to know? The results say? Hey, don't go you looking at me like that, pal. It's no use. She might have been your boss, but that doesn't mean you get any special treatment. Alright. You can see the report, but that's all. Thank you, Gumshoe. What a nice guy. About Maya. Yeah, I'm looking forward to the trial. Sorry, pal, but this one trial you ain't gonna win. Why do you say that? The city's prosecutor Edgeworth, that dang hooligan. Going to be a prosecutor instead of a defense lawyer. How dare he? I'm sure you know what that means, being a lawyer and all. Prosecutor Edgeworth. That's right, pal. Mr. Miles Edgeworth himself. Wait, you don't. You know him? Of course I do. I know him. He's a feared prosecutor. He doesn't feel pain, doesn't feel remorse. He won't stop until he gets his guilty verdict. Ah, don't you talk about that way. You make him barely sound inhuman. Barely sound human. Still, I'm afraid this pretty much decides the case. Pretty much. So Edgeworth is on this one. He hasn't lost a case since he became a prosecutor at the incredibly young age of 20. Of course, there are rumors and back out the deals with forged evidence. All I know for sure is that Edgeworth hates crime with an almost abnormal passion. I never imagined he'd be facing him so soon. Hey, move out of the way. I'm not gonna just examine things. It just takes so much time. Not, we're examining things. The sky's blue and so am I. There's that hotel right across the way. Yeah, my body, my legs, they're sore. Mia's favorite potted plant. I remember it had this bizarre name no one could ever remember. Cordyline stricta, pal. Who was that? An old movie poster. Apparently this was the first movie that made Mia cry when she saw it. I'll have to check it out one of these days. Mia's desk, perfectly clean as always. The only thing that Mia. There's a horrendous amount of legal books right here. Scary still is that Mia probably read all of these. Yeah, imagine being a lawyer and reading lawyer books. So stupid, right, Phoenix? Who does that? So dumb. Alright, wait. Go back to law office, maybe? Nope. What about your family? I only had my sister. My father died when I was very young. And I don't know where my mother is. Don't know? So she could still be alive? The women in my family have been mediums for generations. They say a lot of spiritual blood runs in our blood. About 15 years ago, our family was involved in an incident. That was a man, and he ruined our mother's life. Ruined? After that, she disappeared. Several years after that, my sister announced she would become a lawyer, and she left the mountain. So, you live by yourself? Yes, I've gotten quite used to it. Oh, also, I had to become independent or I would lose my powers. I feel bad for her all by herself up on that there mountain top. So who was this man who ruined your mother? About 15 years ago, there was an unusual murder case. It made quite a stir. Everyone was talking about it, apparently. The police were running out of leads and they were getting desperate. Wait, they didn't use a spirit medium, did they? The police convinced my mother that she tried to contact the victim. Wow, so what happened? The case was solved. We thought. You thought? The man my mother helped the police capture was innocent. The police's consultation with the medium had all been carried out in secret, of course. But a man found out about it and leaked it to the press. He told all the papers that my mother was a fraud, and the media jumped on it big time. My mother, became the laughingstock of the nation. I see. White, excuse me, White? That was his name, my sister told me. White, Mr. White, it seems you got some explaining to do. Where do I go from here? I don't understand. What more you want from me? I've examined, I've talked, oh wait, what if I present you with evidence? Oh yeah, the Maya's memo. Right. I was wondering, did you see my face cell phone? Oh, that? I have that. Do you think you could give it back? Sure, wait a second, pal. Tricky lawyer. Uh-oh, he's on to me. Don't shame. If I tell him what I want, there's no way he'll give it to me. Something matter. Oh no, it's just you know, detective. No, I know nothing, pal. That cell phone has a lot of numbers on it, like her boyfriend's. That cell phone holds all the little girl's sweetest and spiciest secrets. You're trying to confuse me. Sorry, pal, I already checked all the numbers in memory. Impressive, you're quite the detective. Oh, well, heck, here, you can have the phone back. There weren't any suspicious call records in there after all. Seems like you didn't notice the recorded conversation. I guess I'll ask them all the questions. You all done, pal? You all done, man? I just want to keep talking. Come on, pal, don't leave me here. I want to keep talking. These guys are mean. These police officers are so mean to me. Don't leave me here all alone. Not alone. I can't handle being alone. Oh, yes, thank you. I'll be heading out now. Oh, wait, one more thing I wanted to mention to you. I don't suppose you're planning on talking to that witness. Anyway, you better not. No influence on the lower ways, pal. Come to think of it, if I had completely forgotten about her. The witness? Yeah, Miss April May. I'm sorry about this, but I can't tell you anything about her. Except her name. Well, you just told me her name was Miss May, huh? So you've already sent her home already then? Aha, you're trying to deny your lawyer. She's not gonna go outside her room until the trial. So she's still in the hotel across the way. I guess I should know better than try to get a detective to leak information. You got that right, pal? Time to go pay Miss May a visit. Let's see. Let's listen to it. Oh yeah, I remember it. Okay. Move. Great Water Hotel. All right. Glasses for 2. What is that? A screwdriver? Wasn't the phone unscrewed or something? Well, hello there, handsome. Hi. Smooth, right? Real smooth. You're the lawyer, ain't ya? The detective told me. He said don't say anything to that lawyer, pal. Tee-hee. Fuck me, I hate this. Remember to say I'll thank Detective Gumshoe for making my job harder. Gee, this is like something out of a movie. It's all so exciting I can hardly contain myself. Oh, let me go freshen up so I can look the part of the beautiful eyewitness. I pity the lawyer that has to cross-examine this one. That's you, Phoenix. There's a screwdriver stuck in this here drawer. I wonder what's inside. Let's take a look. Hey, 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 hey. What are you doing? No touching. Ooh, bad boy. You really shouldn't pry at other people's rooms now. You wouldn't want to make me upset, would you? Upset? I thought she was gonna explode for a second there. I wonder what could possibly be inside that drawer. I'll examine. Wine for 2. A bottle with 2 glasses on it. I'll stand with her. Ooh. Spicy. Ah, steel seam paint. What should that be? Steel life? Whatever. One of these is hanging on the wall. If I was a fake as expected. I know sunflowers and tulips, but that's about the extent of my floral knowledge. You don't know roses, bro? A simple bed, it's been recently made, nothing I catch in here. The late summer sunlight streams through the window. There's the fact that you could see inside the room pretty clearly from here. I think it would have been a little difficult to recognize a face from this distance though. Let's talk. Do you think you could tell me something? I need you to describe what you observed at the time of the incident. Oh, observe incident. You sound like just like a lawyer in the movies. I like a man with a big vocabulary. Guilt, better not encourage her. You know that thing that occurred happened the other day, the bad thing. What did you see when it happened? I don't suppose you could tell me about it. Pretty please. Let me see. Well, dream on. If you want to know, you'll have to come to court tomorrow, Mr. Lawyer. Oh boy. Could you just... Who exactly are you, ma'am? Ooh, Mr. Lawyer, are you hitting on me? No, hey, I'm just doing my job down here, ma'am. Tee-hee. Tee-hee. You know, you're cute when you blush. Fuck. I hate it. Believe me, this is the first time in my life I blushed this much. Right here. Right, can you just tell me what it is you do? Well, no, Tee-hee, are you a little... Oh, boy. I see there are 2 glasses on the table. Is someone standing here with you? Oh, what an amazing powers of observation. You must be one of those, like, famous detectives, like on television. Oh, no, not me. I'm just a lawyer. Say, Mr. Big Detective, why don't you go look for clues in the garbage, Miss May doesn't like nosy little lawyers. Humph. Oh boy. I present her with my attorney's badge now. You sit. I'm going back to Grossberg Law Office. There we go. Mr. Bad. Well, maybe I should just wait for him to come back. Ahem. Oh, ho, 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 ho. So you're the one they say have been looking for me. This guy would definitely fit a fucking country accent. Why am I doing a country accent for right? Yes, that's me. He looks even grander than I imagined. That badge on your collar. Ah, so you're a lawyer, are you now? Yes, well, yes. And what do you want? I'm not particularly busy these days. Please proceed. Not busy? Then how come no one could get in touch with you? Something the matter? You came to see the one and only Marvin Grossberg, did you not? Well, here I am, boy. What did you want? Out with it. Well, sir, actually, it's about my affair. Oh, yes, my affair. Go on. That was why that strange reaction right there, Mr. Grossberg. Cha-cha. I'm really quite busy here, son. I can't go taking on cases on a day's notice. No, it's quite impossible. What? Wait a second. How did you know the trial was tomorrow? Anyway, I'm afraid it's entirely impossible for me to persevere. Sorry, end of discussion. What's going on? He refused me before I even got a chance to talk to him. What do I tell my... Let's talk to him more. How can you just refuse like that? Please tell me why you won't take the case. Well, you see, it's just I'm busy, you see. But the client is made the fuck. I hate doing this voice. Why did I do this? Him. I say him. Mia trusted you. She knew her sister would be in good hands. Yes, yes, I know. Of course I know that. However, I'm sorry, but I must refuse. Sorry. Goodbye. Creep. Fine. I don't have time to argue with you anyway. I'll go look elsewhere. Grumble. Think not. Did you say something, yo little vermin? I think not. I say, I think not. What do you mean? I'm terribly sorry, but I'm afraid no lawyer worth their salt will take on this particular case. Terribly sorry, my boy. Why, I cannot say. I cannot. I beg your pardon, but could you leave now? I have nothing more to discuss with you. Mitch, hello. Thank you for the stretch. Let me stretch my weary, aching bones. I need to stretch my voice after doing this dumb accent for so long. Good old stretching so-and-so, you know what I'm saying? What's going on here? How did you know Mia Faye? She worked here a long time ago. Quite the apprentice, that one. Learned my techniques in the blink of an eye. She left one day quite suddenly. She had a mission, you see. A mission. You could see it in her eyes. She followed it with a burning passion. Never looked back at that one. That's quite a painting. Aha, you noticed. It's my pride and joy. Impressive, isn't it? Well, isn't it? The color of the sky, the hue of the sea, the weave of the straw hats. It's worth at least 3 mil. Oh, shit. It's worth at least 3 million. I have no intention of parting with it, of course. No, I won't sell it, not even to you. I wasn't interested. It's not for sale. I'm not buying, jeez. Yeah, you suck. Suck a nut, Mr. Grossberg. More like. No, whoa, hi. Oh, you're back. Did you find the lawyer? Well, what do I tell her? Well, you see, just be honest. I really don't think you should use that guy. He didn't seem healthy. He was all skin and bones. What really happened? You don't mean he refused to help? Erp. I see. I see. I've been abandoned then. Just a little longer now before the state-appointed lawyer comes, I guess. 4 p.m. time zip. What should I do? Do I just leave her and go home? I defend her. I've made up my mind. I'm gonna defend you whether you want me to or not. Why? Why, well, no one is as sad as a person without any friends. I know I've been there a long time ago. Why did I become a lawyer in the first place? Because someone has to look out for the people who have no one on their side. Maya, I won't abandon you. You can count on me. That's so kind of you. Sniff. Well, let's fight this one and get you out of here. Right, thank you. Ooh, she smiled at last. She looks like an entirely different person. Well, one last question. You are innocent, right? Yes, and I trust you. So you trust me too, okay? It's a deal. It's a done diddle a deal. So what next? There's something that's been bugging me. Just what was inside that strange woman's drawer. It was when I tried to look in that drawer that she got all defensive. There has to be something in there. Good afternoon, sir. Excuse me, you are? I beg your pardons. Now, what the fuck? I just did what is wrong with me? I'm the bellboy of this establishment at your service, sir. Oh, right. I've just come up to deliver room service, sir. Do you know where Miss May might be? I believe our guest Miss May is currently using their facilities. I have no idea what voices I'm doing. It's all the same. Why there's so many dang characters? Okay. If you have no need of anything, I'll be taking my leave. Please stay as long as you like. Enjoy. Yeah. Wait, no. Hey. Why does it seem like every time I come up here, I end up embarrassing myself? Wait, now's my chance to snoop around a bit. I almost forgot. Yeah, you came back quick. Might ask you to inform Miss May that there's a message here for her. Please tell her that Mr. White of the Blue Corp phoned. Oh, right, sure. Mr. White of Blue Corp. Where have I heard that name before? White. That was his name. My sister told me. She told me. It was White. White was the name of the guy who ruined me and Maya's mother. Could it be a coincidence? Let me look. There's a screwdriver sticking out that half-open drawer. Now's my chance to see what's inside. What do we have here? A wiretap. Why does he know what a wiretap looks like? What would a woman like her be doing with a thing like this? Wiretap added to the court record. There's definitely something suspicious about this Miss May. Why would she have something like this in her hotel room? There's a story behind all this, I know it. Alright, I'll be using this bit of evidence in tomorrow's trial, that's for sure. For Maya's sake, I'll get to the bottom of this woman. I'll get to this woman's bottom. Wait, I mean, you know what I mean. Oh, bellboy's still here? Oh, time to scram. I look forward to tango with you tomorrow, Miss May. In court. To be continued. I forget if this one has to go through 2 layers or just 1. Like, do you go to 2 days on this one, or is it just the 1 day? I don't remember. I guess, I mean, there's the trial day, but do you go another day after this? I don't remember. I wonder if there's another evidence collecting one. I don't think so. I think there's just like a recess, but I'm not sure. Oh, we got court number 1. Oh, look at Edgeworth. What a Chad. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Miles Edgeworth. I'd better not show any signs of weakness today, or he will be on me in an instant. Mr. Edgeworth, please give the court your opening statement. Thank you, Your Honor. The defendant, Miss Maya Fey, was at the scene of the crime. The prosecution has evidence she committed this murder. And we have a witness who saw her do it. I wish I could do a British accent. The prosecution sees no reason to doubt the facts of this case, Your Honor. I see. Thank you, Mr. Edgeworth. Well, let's begin then. If I might call our first witness, Your Honor. The prosecution calls the chief officer of the scene, the Detective Gumshoe. Witness, please state your name and profession to the court. Sir, my name is Dick Gumshoe, sir. I'm the detective in charge of homicides down at the precinct, sir. Detective Gumshoe, please describe for us the plans of this murder. Very well, sir. Let me use this floor map of my office to explain. I don't remember what any of these people sound like. The body was found by the window here. And the cause of death? Loss of blood due to being struck by a blunt object, sir. The murder weapon was a statue of the Tinker found next to the body, sir. It was heavy enough to be a deadly weapon even in a girl's hand, sir. The court accepts the evidence statue. Fuck, I can't talk. They're still calling it a statue. Floor plans added to the court record. Now, detective. Yes, sir. You immediately arrested Miss Maya Fey, who was found at the scene, correct? Can you tell me why? Yes, sir. I had hard evidence she did it, sir. Detective Gumshoe, please testify to the court about this hard evidence. Maya Fey's arrest. As soon as the phone call came in, I rushed to the scene. There were 2 people there already, the defendant, Miss Maya Fey, and the lawyer, Mr. Phoenix Wright. I immediately arrested Miss Maya Fey. Why? We had a witness account describing her. The witness saw Miss Maya Fey at the very moment of the murder. At the very moment you say, well, Mr. Wright, may begin your cross-examination. Yes, Your Honor. Cross-examine what? I couldn't see a single contradictory in that statement. Whoosh, smack. Hey, Ma just threw something at me. Was this when my sister couldn't find any contradictions in a witness test? I just remember this part. You're supposed to like pick at it with the Q button. She could bluff it and press the witness, and on every day tab the witness always slips up and says something wrong. It works lots of times. Hey, I should have expected Ma would know some of her sister's tricks. Alright, let's give this a shot. Let's give this a good old shot. No, Your Honor, I like to begin my cross-examining it. I can't talk like this. Honestly, it's killing my voice. Oh, I'm gonna. Yep. The defendant, Miss Maya Fey. I immediately arrested Miss Maya Fey. Why would the witness tell the Q? Hold on, just 1 second. Yeah, if I heard correctly, you said they arrested her because of you had hard evidence. You did it, correct? Oh, did I say that? You said it. You did. You said it. You said it. Exactly. What about this suspicious pink woman in pink's claim was hard evidence? What? Miss May isn't suspicious, and she sure isn't pink, pal. See? Well, I guess she is pink. That's enough, Detective Gumshoe. Do you have any more solid so much talking. My guess pressing can have its advantages. Yes. Gah. Sorry, I got the order thing mixed up, Testimony, my honor, Your Honor, sir. There was something I should have told you about first, Your Honor. Well, detective, let's hear your testimony again. After securing the suspect, I examined the scene of the crime with my own eyes. I found a memo written on the piece with the butter. On it, the word "my" was written clear in blood. Lab test results showed that the blood was the victim's. Also, there was blood found on the victim's finger. Before she died, the victim wrote the killer's name. How do you like that? That's my hard evidence. Before we begin cross-examination, I have a question for you, Detective. Your Honor? Why do you testify about the vital piece of evidence the first time? Come on, bro. Come on. I know. I'm real embarrassed. I forgot about it. She sure I was real embarrassed about it. Try to be more careful. Very well. The defense may begin its cross-examination. There's so many words. After securing the suspect, I examined the scene of a crime. Oh, yeah. Detective Gumshoe, do you get a lot of cases where the victim actually writes the killer's names? Sure, it happens all the time in books and movies. This isn't a movie, Detective. Oof. Let's talk about reality, shall we? I guess I haven't heard many cases, no. Don't you find it a little odd that the victim would write down a name? Especially the name of her own sister. Ah, well, actually, yeah, you got a point, pal. Objection. Stop right there. Shake my head. The witness's opinion on the matter is irrelevant. The facts are clear. The victim wrote down the name of the accused. The victim told us the name of her killer. Order, order. That didn't go so well. That's right. That's what he said. That's his whole testimony. Okay, there has to be countries in there. Let's find it. Examine the crime with my own eyes. I found a memo written on the blood of it. What if it says Iowa? Yeah, proof it was Mia who wrote that. Of course I do, pal. Uh-oh, he sounded pretty confident. This might not be good. Hold it. I heard they took the bloods of the hermogoblins. Hermogoblins, these nuts. I refuse to testify on this matter, pal. I'm no expert on blood tests. Yes, that's quite clear. You may continue with your testimony. Yeah, thanks, pal. I mean, Your Honor, sir. I look forward to your next evaluation. As should you. Oh. Right, where was I? Was I? On which hand was the bloody finger, Detective? The right hand. She was right-handed. Aha, nice try. Oh, I guess she was getting at there. But was the thing on the right side? Ooh. Yeah, it was on the right side, huh? She was framed. Hold on, if that's the case, where's your evidence? Hey, I guess it was a bit of a tall order for you. Those without evidence shouldn't open their mouths, Mr. Wright. Yeah, pal. Yeah, pal. Yeah, pal. Well, Detective, tell us what was written on that memo you found. Hold it. And what did you find? Any evidence? Now, don't jump the guns. I think I've done all of it, haven't I? I already did this part. I actually don't know what you're supposed to do here. Is there a contradiction here? I found a memo written on a piece of paper next to the victim's body. No, I didn't mean to hit Q. Frick's sake. Yeah. It's actually Maxa. It's actually Mig. It's actually white. Oh, is this part? Okay, so I feel like I've gone through everything. I don't know what I'm supposed to do here. If death was instantaneous... Before she died, yeah, so you do this, right? Objection. Detective Gumshoe, there's one thing I want you to clarify for me here. You say the victim, Mia Fey, wrote this note, that she was accusing the defendant, Maya Fey. That's really what you're saying. What? This isn't one of those tricks, is it? No, is it? Of course she wrote it. Who else could have done it? You have it backwards, detective. Backwards? The victim is the only person who absolutely could not have written it. This is a report from your department, detective. Immediate death due to a blow from a blunt object. She died immediately. But no butting your way out of this one, detective. Order in the court, I say. I say order in the court. The defense has a point. Someone who died immediately wouldn't have had time to write anything down. Mr. Wright, I beg your pardon, but what exactly did you obtain in that autopsy report? What, when? It was the day after the murder. The prosecution's point being? Tisk, tisk, tisk. The autopsy report is outdated, Your Honor. What? A second autopsy was performed yesterday at my request. The death was almost immediate due to but there's a possibility the victim lived for several minutes after the blow. I received these results this morning. No way. Your Honor, it is quite easy to imagine that the victim did have time to write Maya. I rest my case. That is all. I see. Damn you, Edgeworth. Language, Phoenix. Language. Heck you, Edgeworth. I should have known you'd have something up your sleeve. Why, Mr. Wright, you look shocked. Something you want to say? You're a sham. Mr. Edgeworth, I've heard there's nothing you won't do to get your verdict. What reason could you possibly have had to request a second autopsy report? Mr. Wright, the defense will refrain from personal attacks on the prosecution. No matter, Your Honor. Mr. Wright, say what you will, the evidence in this report is undeniable. Your Honor, I submit this report to the court. Understood. The accepted, of course. Oh, yeah. Well, Your Honor, the evidence strongly suggests the victim was identified the killer. I suppose that's the obvious conclusion. Gosh darn it, this is not good. The precaution would call its next witness. I hope to hell it's not that girl. That Miss Pink. This poor innocent girl. Ah, frick. Oh, frickin' hackers. Let the witness, Miss April Mace, take the stand. What exactly was part of her innocence? Nya. Witness, your name, please. April May, at your service, wink. Wink, gotta get that wink in there. Order, and an introduction should not require any reaction from the crowd. The witness will refrain from wanton winking. Aw, yes, Your Honor. This is not good. He's already captured the heart of every man in this courtroom. Tell us, where were you on the night of the September 5th when the murder occurred? Gee, I was in my hotel room, teehee. I checked in right after lunch. And this hotel directly across from Fay & Co. law offices. That's right, big boy. That's right, big boy. Please testify to the court of what you saw. I wish I could do higher pitched voices. It was like 9 at night. I looked out of the window, you know. And then, ooh, I saw a woman with long hair being attacked. The one attacking her was this mousy girl sitting in the defendant's chair. Then the woman, like, dodged to one side and ran away. But that girl, she caught up to her and she hit her. Then the woman with long hair, she kind of slumped. The end. That's all I saw. Every little bitsy wincy. Wink. Wink. Well, Your Honor, I see it is a remarkably solid testimony. I don't see a trouble to witness. Wait, Your Honor? Yes, Mr. Wright. What about my cross-examination? I thought the witnesses was quite firm, didn't you, Mr. Freaking Judge? Mr. Wright, I understand you were Miss Mia Faye's understudy, were you not? You must know her techniques well. Her cowardly way of finding tiny faults and perfectly good testimonies. Hey, how dare you? How dare you? Yes, I'm doing it. I'll gladly proceed with this cross-examination. If only because I have a feeling Edward doesn't want me to. By she has some weaknesses. Oh gosh, okay. So much reading here. I wish there was music more during this part. There we go. It was like 9 at night. 9 at night. Was it 9 at night? Doesn't have a time there. Yep, okay. Not that. Being attacked. Yeah, let's just when attacking, where's that mouse girl? And then the one like, ooh, dodged to one side and ran away. She hit her. Just got there one by one. Why'd you do that? Huh? Why? Like, why what? Why'd you look out the window? Were you expecting to see something? Oh, gee. What, lassie? She can't get out of that question that easily. I sort of, you know. I had a feeling. Well, I have a feeling she's trying to avoid the question, man. I probably go for it. See how far I can run with this. Surely you must have had a reason to look out your window at that time of night. Objection. Mr. Wright, I will not have you badgering my witness, son. But badgering? You insist on needling her with these trivial questions. I really don't think it should be allowed. Yeah, stop him. Yeah, kill this man. Order, Mr. Wright, you have been warned. Poor girl, what about poor me? You looked out the window, what did you see next? And then, I saw one with long hair getting attacked. Slender, sort of, well, people might say pretty if that's your thing. Your thing? And the person attacking her. Mousy. Hold a minute, that testimony stinks. What? Miss May, I'm willing to bet that you saw nothing. Did you really see the defendant at all? Mr. Wright, what's the meaning of this? Yeah, what's all this meaning? Somebody tell me because I'm clueless about this, I mean. Okay, if you really had witnessed my client, Maya Faye, you would have noticed her clothes before noticing her physique. No one wears clothes like this on the daily basis except her. And I'm no expert on fashion, but her hairdo looks far from normal to me. However, the witness testimony mentions neither of these things. The testimony is bogus. But, still we don't know if the way she dressed that she was, Your Honor. I saw her and so did Detective Gumshoe. What do you say to that, Ms. May? Roar! What are you trying to say, you mean lawyer? I saw what I saw. I just didn't think of all the trifling little details were necessarily, darling. Miss May, the court would like to remind you how you please. I'm sorry, Your Honor. I'll be a good girl. I promise. Wink. Your testimony again, if you would. Blame, I almost had her. I did see everything I did. The victim, the woman, dodged the first attack and ran off to the right. And the girl with the hippie clothes ran after her. And she hit her with the weapon. I saw it, I did. That clock on the... How did you know it was a clock? That kind of statue clock, the thinker, I mean. Well, does the accuracy of my part not startle you? How'd you know it's a clock? No. That's fishy. No, ga. A clock? Didn't this come out? Well, don't you look so sorry. I can't well know, but I have a feeling I'm onto something. Yeah. No, I didn't mean to click. No, don't make me go through everything again. Objection. Miss May, what you said just now was quite revealing. Revealing? Ooh, you'd like that, wouldn't you, naughty Mr. Lawyer? You just said that this statue of the thinker was a clock. That there's no way knowing that just by looking at it. No, the person is much in the same position as you recently called this a clock too. And he was found guilty of murder. Order. Miss May, can you explain how you knew this was a clock? Oh, the witness saw the murder with her own eyes. That's all that's important here. The defense is trying to confuse the issue with the trivial concerns. Yes, of course. You would draw your objection. But questions are all I have, Your Honor. And as you may recall, I've caught murders before with these questions. Well, only once. Objection sustained. You may continue to question the witness. Well, that was close. If he stopped me there, the trial would have been over. Oh, what? So what happens now? What happens now is you answer my question. How did you know it was a clock? What? That's because I heard it? Yes, I heard it say the time. So you've been at the law office as a Fanco? No. Hey, I didn't say no. Hey, I didn't say that. Why would I go there? I heard it from my hotel room. Hee. The law office is a fan code, man. Very close to the touch. You'd easily have heard the clock. Well, Mr. Wright, are you satisfied? No, Your Honor. Oh, my throat. No, Your Honor. I can't give up now. I'm not satisfied because she couldn't have wrong. Your Honor, members of the court, it is inconceivable that the clock, it's empty. That clock is missing its clockwork. How could you possibly just take a look right now? Oh, see anything interesting, Your Honor? It is as the defense says. This clock is missing its clockwork. It's quite empty. Mr. Wright, would you care to explain the court the meaning of this? It is as you can see. The clock was empty. It couldn't have rung. Therefore, this witness is a big fat liar. Fat? I love how that's what she sticks to. Fat? Well, Miss May. How could you? Tisk. Quite a show you put on for us, Mr. Wright. He knew the clock was empty somehow. He knew. I'm afraid you've forgotten one thing, however. Indeed, the clock is empty, and as you say, it can't ring. However, we must ask, when was the clockwork moved? If it was after the witness heard the clock, then there is no contradiction. Oh, that's right, that's true. That is a possibility. The clock might have been emptied after she heard it. Well, that is exactly what happened, Your Honor. Well, Mr. Rat, can you prove that clockwork was removed? Yeah, I can, you freaking idiot. I have proof. What? Wasn't it you told me proof is everything? Well, I was listening, and now I'll show you the proof you like so much. The evidence that proves the clockwork was removed is... Take that. Take a look at this. That's a very cute cell phone. Thank you, Judge. I accessorize. Okay. Ooh, you have a girly phone. Wait. This isn't my phone. This isn't my phone, brothers. Listen, this is the defendant's cell phone, and it contains a recording. A recording of a conversation she had with the victim on the day of the murder. What are these guys here for? Anyways, these guys around. Order. The defendant's cell phone? This wasn't brought to my attention. Perhaps Detective Gumshoe overlooked it. Grumble. That good detective better remember he's up for evaluation soon. My throat is dying. My throat is actually dying. This is definitely the last one I'm doing tonight. I don't care how long this stream goes. My throat is killing me. I gotta say, I'm starting to feel bad for the big fella. Let's hear the conversation. So you just want me to hold it. So you just want me to hold on to the thinker for you then? If you could. Ah, I should probably tell you, the clock isn't talking right now. Huh? It's not working? That's lame. I had to take the clockwork out, sorry. Your Honor, I think that makes it clear the clockwork was already gone by the time this was recorded. Which was well before the witness ever arrived at her hotel. Well, Miss May, would you like care to explain to this court? Just how did you know the weapon was a clock? What? Well, isn't that obvious? I saw the clock before. What was the story again? I got two so many. Oops, I forgot. Wink. Yes, I have an objective. The witness claims she has seen it before, but this directly contradicts with the piece of evidence already submitted to this court. Well, then let's see it. Please produce the evidence. Yeah, I mean, right here. It's simple. This clock was never in any store ever. What? A friend of mine made that clock. Only two exist in the world, and the other one that isn't here is in police custody. Impossible. Everything isn't sold in stores. Miss May, I think it's high time you went shopping for a better excuse. Oh my god, that was a good burn. Oh, excuse me, not on sale today. Excuses not on sale today. Man, he's getting sassy. Oh, oh, she's like spinning. Her heart is spinning. Oh no, she turned into. Holy crap, that face. What's it to you, porcupine head? That stupid clock doesn't matter, okay? She did it, and she should die for it. Die. Oh my gosh, she got so angry. Whoa, let's not get ahead of ourselves. This is a court of law, and the witnesses will remain calm. Oh, hey, oh, hello, ho. Silly me. Grunt. Did I, lose it? I guess I did. Tee-hee wink. Scary. Miss May, let me ask, tell me, how did you know the weapon was a clock? Man, that face is bold. Oh dear, the defense has an opinion on this behavior. Okay, this is it. Yes, Your Honor. Allow me to explain how I saw the truth of the matter. Miss April May, you knew because you had heard about it. The witness had never held the clock in her hand. However, she had heard that it was a clock. She heard? That is correct, Your Honor. There's no other way that she could have known the clock to think it was a clock. And I could show you the proof. Well, this is interesting. Let's see it then. Show me evidence. Yes, sir. I have a look at this. Oh, that. Tee-hee. I found this in Miss May's room. God, I love the music. It's so hype. Miss Wright, please admit, Miss April May, you were tapping the victim, Miss May Faye's phone. Where are you now? Where are you now? Oh. Your Honor, this is irrelevant. I'm not entirely sure that it is. Objection overruled. It troubles me that our witness was in possession of a wiretap. This is outrageous. Does the defense truly claim the witness was tapping your phone? Absolutely. Even if that was the case, which is not, you still have to prove one thing. Did the victim ever say that the weapon was a clock on the phone? Can you prove that? I think not. Oh yeah, I think I can. Oh yeah, I think I can. It's simple. What? I fucking love these. So good. Here's my proof. The proof that the victim on the phone, that is, the weapon on the clock is. Is it not just? It's a clock. I meant to, yeah, no. Yeah, it's the same thing. It's the same cell phone. Present the defense cell phone. Yes, we've seen that. Listen once more between the conversation. Mia, what's up? You haven't called in a while. Well, actually, there's something I want to hold you for me. Again, what's it this time? It's a clock. It's made to look like the statue of the thinker, and it tells you the time. Miss April May, you used the wiretap to listen to this conversation. That's how you knew the thinker was a clock. Am I wrong? Your Honor, this is ridiculous. Your Honor, look at that witness's face. Does she seem amused to you? The defense demands an answer. La 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 la. Witness answered the question. Did you tap her phone? Miss May. Shut up, all of you. What gives you the right to talk to me like that? You lawyer. Man, look at that face. It's no fair. All of you ganging up on me like that. Oh, so I'm the bad girl. Is that it? Is that it? Ooh, wah. That did it. The court's seen the real Miss April May now. Now to feel the final blow. Why did you tap her phone? Answer the question. Do I have to? Isn't this murder trial? Isn't tippity tapping her irrelevant? Gosh, she's saying exactly what Aidsworth wants her to say. Miss May, you were tapping the victim's phone. I hardly call that irrelevant. While the court does not condone the defense's tone of voice, he has a point. Well, Miss May, have you ever processed with the court? I should do the grumble. Miss May, do you have a expression for the court? I don't know how to do it. Can you prove you had nothing to do with this murder even though you tapped her phone? I like to see her pull that off. Mr. Lawyer, I saw that evil grin. You were probably thinking I'd like to see her pull that off, weren't you? Damn, she's good. Language, Phoenix. Heck, she's good. Well, you're not the first man who's thought that, and of course, I can and will. You can't be serious. No way. Way, I say way. And I assure you I'm serious, Mr. Lawyer. Humph. Okay, so the killing happened around 9 a.m. at night, right? Well, that's just why I was getting room service from the sweet bellboy. Room service? Iced coffee, I believe it was. Iced coffee, you know. Like normal coffee, but cold. If you don't, that's witchery right there. If you don't drink it quick, the ice melts when you have regular cold coffee. Yeah, iced coffee. Think I'm making this up? Ask the bellboy, wink. Wink wonk. Ergo, the witness was not at the scene at the time of the murder. I didn't say she was. I said she was wiretapping it. So where did leave us? It is my great displeasure to inform you that the witness appears to have been tapping the victim's telephone. However, that is a separate crime with no bearing on the current case whatsoever. Her testimony stands. She saw the defendant Mayfair commit murder. That's not how that should go. No, we're just going to let her walk away. There's no way I can win this unless that time is made in the murder somehow. Well, the defense have anything to say? Well, come on, think of something. The defense would like to call the hotel bellboy as a witness. There's something suspicious here, and I'm going to get to the bottom of it. I think you've sunk it quite low enough already. I object to calling the. I object to calling the bellboy. Say here. We are not calling that bellboy. Why? What's your reason? Because I'll hold that wiretap and nothing to do with the killing. However, if you agree to one condition, I'll consent to calling this witness. Condition: if Miss April May's alibi is not called into question after you examine the bellboy, then you will recognize that Miss April May was not the killer, thus she is innocent. And thereby you must also accept the verdict of guilty for Miss Mayfair. That is my condition. What? I better find something suspicious in that bellboy's testimony. Otherwise, my will be declared guilty on the spot. What should I do? Alright, I've got nothing to lose, except for, well, everything. Understood, I accept your condition. Fool. fool. You fell right into my trap. Uh-oh. Yep. Yep. Yep, yep, yep. Yep, 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 yep. Hello. Very well. Now he's the court calls the hotel member to the stand. I believe we're ready for the witness to testify. He certainly does look like a bellboy. Yes, sure. I don't know the fuck this guy's voice is. I received your summons in the middle of the work, sir. I'm happy to be of service. Atisa, without further witness testimony. Very good, sir. I am the head bellboy at the Divine Gatewater Hotel in the business for 4 generations. I believe I received the call after 8 in the evening from our guest, Miss May. She asked for a nice coffee to be brought to her at 9 on the dot, sir. I thought it would. I can't read. I brought it to her at precisely the requested time, of course, and I delivered for the iced coffee to her guest, Miss May herself. I see that defense. Right, I'm ready, I hope. This is it. If I can prove Miss May was involved with the murder somehow, May will be finished. May will be finished. Okay. I am the head bellboy in the business for 4 years. I believe I received the call at 8 in the evening. I am the head bellboy. Okay. 8 in the evening. I have literally nothing. What the hell? Hold it. 9 on the dot, you said. Yes, I have confirmed that Yes, I've confirmed that detail several times. She was watching a TV program on TV and wished to drink after she finished, sir. 9. The time of the murder. Precisely 9 laying. Precisely, exactly, and most definitely, sir. 9 p.m. How can you be so sure? Miss May was quite insistent that about it then. Oh, bellboy I'd like that iced coffee at exactly 9. Something like that, sir. Therefore, I knocked on the door at the clock of 9, sir. Why would she be so peculiar about the time? You were sure it was Miss April May herself? Absolutely, sir. Absolutely. Yes, sir, as in, so very absolutely, sir. It's an endearing mannerism of mine. How come you're so very certain? Well, when I brought the room service, sir, the guest, sir, favored me with an embarrassment, sir. Embarrassment? Is that French for embrace? It's French for kiss, sir. It's not a French kiss, sir. No, more of a peck on the cheek. Why would she have done that? I believe perhaps she was momentarily swayed by my prim demeanor, sir. It was a moment I shall never ever forget, sir. Sounds pretty fishy to me. I think our Miss May was up to something and wanted the bellboy to remember her. It's no good. There's nothing here. It's that it. Edgewood, don't you look at me like that. Edgewood, don't you look at me like that, boy. Tisk, tisk. Finally, you understand. This bellboy has absolutely no reason to lie. Now, if you have any decency, you will end this rather tedious cross-examination here. It wasn't tedious. This whole game is getting tedious on my throat. Oh, I'm gonna have a sore throat tomorrow. I need to get someone else to help me with doing all these dang voices. The witness must leave the stand. I can't let this happen, can I? Objection. What? Wait. Please wait. Yes? One last question. Let me ask one last question. Objection. Your Honor, I must object. This charade of injustice has gone long enough. Edward. That's all. That's all. That's all, folks. Okay. This is really it now. This is my last chance. What do I ask him about? Bed making. It was a very clean bed. Room service check-in. What the hell do I ask about? Hey, let's save. Everybody, let's save. Tell me again about room service. Again, sir? It's exactly 9 to deliver the room to Miss May in her room 303. I guess I requested iced coffee. $18 was the charge, as I recall. I see. $18. Doesn't that seem a bit expensive? Yes, well, iced coffee for 2, you know, and we don't skip on the ice, sir. What did he say? What did you say? Rather quite. Bellboy, tell us the truth. Right now, I want the truth. The whole truth and nothing but the truth. Boy. Was someone else staying in Miss May's room? Objection. I object. That was objectionable. I love Adrian so much. That was objectionable. God, he's just so single focused on screwing us over. It's great. Because then this kind of stuff happens. Ah, it's beautiful. Objection over the winning will answer the question. Yes, I see. Why did you not mention this in your testimony? Well, sir, you didn't ask. Nice try. That's the sort of thing you're normally supposed to mention. Yes, quite, indeed. It was the, good barista there, Mr. Edgeworth, who... He asked me not to mention if I was specifically asked, sir. Oof. You fool! You've ruined me. You've ruined us all. Edgeworth tampering out with evidence. What a scumbag. I love him. I've done it. I've won. Miss April May checked into a twin room with a man. Correct? Yes, sir. Then, when you brought the room service, you didn't see that man in the room? That's right, sir. Your Honor, we have just learned of another person involved who may have been the murderer. In light of this new fact, I hold that it's impossible to judge the defendant. Wouldn't you agree, Mr. Edgeworth? And who, Mr. Wright? Who is this other person? Simple. It was the man with Ms. May. The man who checked in with Ms. May. Oof. Your Honor, it has been previously revealed Miss April May was tappering the victim's phone. Yet Miss May herself has an alibi at the time of the murder. However, that does not clear the man that was with her. The bellboy saw no one else in the room at the time of the murder. My, what a convenient little setup, but it's too late. Too late? Too late, too late, too late? I suppose you'd like it to be too late, wouldn't you? After all, it was you who hid the presence of the other man from this court. Oof. Upstart amateur. Upstart amateur. These accusations are ludicrous. Luda. And enough. My poor voice. My poor throat. There did go the argument. I expect matter fully. It may be understood. Yes, yes, Your Honor. Adjourned. We did it, guys. We did it. Mr. Wright, you were amazing in there. Really? I think I might be your newest fan. Oh, I was just doing my job, you know. Then again, that other attorney was pretty cool too. Huh? That face of his with all his wide eyes and trembling lips. It sent shivers up my spine. If you say so. So, what happens with me? Do I get to go home now? Well, no, I don't think so. Not yet, anyway. Oh, I see. But I got a great lead in today's trial. A lead? That man with Miss May. He's the key. Oh, I get it. What happened to Miss May after that, anyway? I heard they arrested her. I guess she's learning her charms won't work everywhere. She's probably at the detention center now. I may have to go down there later. Anyway, this case is far from closed. Yes, sir. I'm going to find out more about this man. Do you think he was the one who... Maybe so. sis. Don't worry, we'll find him by tomorrow, I promise. I'm counting on you. I need to end it here. Oh my god, I asked for the full record of Miss April May's testimony. I thought it might come in handy during tomorrow's trial. But now that I have it, I'm not so sure. Most of her testimony was all lies. In fact, there's only one part that hasn't been stricken from the record. I don't know how much good this will do me at all now. Wait, what was that? Anyway, time to hit the pavement and do some investigating. Mary doesn't belong in that detention center, and it's up to me to set her free. Yeah, okay, this is the perfect time to stop because my throat is actually murdering me. It's actually murdering me. I need to stop for today. Man, I thought I was going to go on for much longer, but no, I can't. Oh my god, that voice is killing me on the inside as well as on the outside. It's actually just murder. It's pure, unadulterated murder. I don't know why I decided to do it. Kill me. But that was fun. Man, I miss Phoenix Wright. Phoenix Wright is such a good game. Like, oh my god. Oh my god, such a good game. Such a good game. Yeah. But I think yeah, I think I'll just end it here. I will end it right here, everybody. I need to go rest my voice. It is straight up dying. Like, honestly, I am dying out here. But thank you for coming. Hello, everybody. Hello, goodbye. Hello, goodbye. Thank you all for coming. And I will see you all next time. Yes, just gonna end it right here because I need to go have a throat surgery. This hurts. Goodbye, everybody. Don't show up now. I'm trying to wave, not show everybody my great VTube options. Goodbye, everybody. Thanks for coming. Sayonara.